Amid the deepening crisis in Gaza, and the U.S. is ramping up its diplomatic efforts, President Joe Biden is set to visit Israel on Wednesday as the country has agreed with Israel to come up with a plan to let humanitarian aid into Gaza. But the critical reopening of the Rafah crossing remains unclear. Shin Se-byuck has the latest.
U.S. President Joe Biden will visit Israel to reaffirm solidarity. That is according to U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Tuesday, following an overnight meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel's war cabinet members in Tel Aviv on Monday.
On Wednesday, President Biden will visit Israel. He's coming here at a critical moment for Israel, for the region, and for the world. The President will reaffirm the United States' solidarity with Israel and our ironclad commitment to its security.
Biden's scheduled meeting comes as Israel prepares for a ground offensive against Hamas in Gaza. Blinken also said the U.S. and Israel are set to work together to provide humanitarian aid to civilians in need.
The United States and Israel have agreed to develop a plan that will enable humanitarian aid from donor nations and multilateral organizations to reach civilians in Gaza.
The U.S. official made his second visit to Israel in under a week, where he reaffirmed firm support from the U.S. for Israel. Monday's overnight meeting lasted for over 6 hours. At one point, however, a State Department spokesperson said the meeting was briefly interrupted by air raid sirens, forcing Blinken and Netanyahu to take shelter in a bunker for 5 minutes. The evacuation came as the cities of Jerusalem and Tel Aviv came under fire on Monday. Palestinian militant group Hamas said it fired a barrage of missiles at the cities in response to what it called Israel's targeting of civilians. According to the Washington Post, at least 1,400 people have been killed and over 4,000 injured in Israel, while nearly 2,800 people have been killed and nearly 10,000 wounded in Gaza since a surprise attack by Hamas on Israel sparked new fighting in the region on October 7th. Also on Monday, people gathered at the Rafah crossing on the Gaza-Egypt border, following reports that it would be reopened during a brief ceasefire. The crossing has been shut for security reasons since Hamas took control of Gaza in 2007. If the border were to open, Gazans with dual citizenship could leave the territory, and humanitarian aid, now waiting on the Egyptian side, could enter. However, both Israel and Hamas have denied reports of reopening, exacerbating an already desperate humanitarian crisis. Shin Se-byuck, 아리랑뉴스.